To be reading Crystal Skull. Being a king is hard, but being a good king is even harder. You know this well as the sole ruler of the European kingdom in the age where America is discovered. It has been 25 years since you ascended the throne. Your subjects are content with your rule. Your country is in peace and the people are wealthy, but there is something wrong with your life. Your daughter, Juliana, is ill. She's only 18 years old, and she's got an illness that nobody could cure yet. Princess is dying, and she is your only child and heir to the throne. Every doctor you could find tried to cure her. You have tried almost everything. Almost. You have been informed about a miraculous effect on Earth and the continent of America. It is a human skull made of crystal. It amazes the scholars because the method is known to carve such an excellent shape of a skull out of crystal. This skull doesn't belong to the world that you know, just to an ancient civilization that has been lost. But what amazes the scholars is not just the impossible creation. The skull is told to bring miracles to whom touches it with their bare hands. Some people tell that they saw visions from the future. Some tell that they saw how the human race has originated, and some tell that the skull can cure their illnesses. Those couldn't be cured with the medication available to your era. Naturally, you order your best man to bring the miraculous skull to the palace. It's midnight now. You're in Juliana's chamber. She is lying in her bed, holding your hand as you sit by her bed. No candles are lit inside. Full moon enlightens the princess's chamber, shining on her long blonde hair and blue eyes. She is too weak. Her skin is pale. She has under eye bags showing her illness. You already suffered the loss of your wife 10 years ago. Now you can't stand seeing your daughter slowly die. Juliana asks with a soft voice, "Mother, am I going to die?" "I won't allow that." She smiles. "I know, Father. You're a mighty king. I know that you will do the best by your subjects and me." The door on the chamber is knocked on. The servants generally don't disturb the royal family members at night, so it must be something important. "Come in." A brunette boy of your servants gets inside the chamber with politeness. He looks at you and says, "Your Majesty, the artifact has been brought. You have been waiting for this moment for a long time." Kiss Julian. After you kiss Julian's forehead and say, I will come back," she brings your hand to her pale lips and kisses it. Then you leave Juliana alone in the chamber. At the entrance of Juliana's chamber, you see Sir William, one of the knights. Those were appointed with the task of bringing the ancient skull. He is a strong man with black hair and a round beard. He wears gloves and holds a bag. "Your Majesty," he says, and kneels before you. Sir William follows you as you go to your study chamber. The chamber is well lit with several chandeliers. All the furniture are classy. It is the king's study room, after all. There is only one chair. It is for you. You sit on it. Sir William stands by you and slowly pulls the artifact from his bag. You push the books on the study desk to open space for the artifact. "Here it is," he says, and gently puts the crystal skull on the study desk. The skull is truly a masterpiece. If it is crafted by humans, all the details of a human skull are important with care. On rock crystal, light coming from the candles are reflected inside the crystal, gaining various colors of a rainbow. It's magnificent, but you sense something sinister, something that doesn't belong to our world. As you are about to touch the skull, Sir William holds your hand and prevents you from touching the skull. "Your Majesty, I think I need to tell you something about the skull before you touch it." The day we are about to leave, a native A native man came to us. He looked like the chief of his tribe. He knew a little of our language, but he shouted some words that we couldn't understand. Cursed! No touch! So we haven't touched the skull with our bare hands again. I know that our princess needs to find a cure. I also know that we received reliable information about the magical powers of the skull, which it comes from incurable diseases. But your majesty, I have got a very bad feeling about this skull. I believe that the wise decision is to throw the skull in the sea. I can't let Juliana die. She will touch the skull. The knight says, as you wish, your majesty, but if you are going to bring the skull to her, I wish you would wear gloves. Touch it with bare hands. You ignore the knight, touch the skull with bare hands, and instantly find yourself in the vision. In your vision, you are in the middle of a ritual. There are about 100 naked humans around you, forming a circle whose center is you. They are all portraying themselves, worshiping you. It's nighttime. The plain area is enlightened with torches and stars. You see a stepped pyramid nearby. It is made of huge stone blocks. You realize that you are the crystal skull. You can't see yourself, but you are completely aware of what you are. These naked people are worshiping you, the crystal skull. Then the vision changes. Now it is not morning. It is raining like hell. This is a huge flood. Unclothed, red-skinned humans scream and get drowned because of this addressed torrent, and you, as the skull, drift away. You open your eyes and turn back to who you really are, the good king. Sir William looks at you. Television, and then we bring the skull to Julian. You tell him what you have seen in your vision. Yes, the skull is mysterious. I can't understand it. I hope it doesn't bring harm to you or princess, your majesty, he says. Let me bring the skull to Juliana. You thank Sir Williams for his services and let him go. You carry the skull to Juliana's chamber. You enter her chamber and see that she hasn't slept yet. She rises up and sits on her bed. She looks at the skull in awe. It looks marvelous and scary, she says. You approach Juliana and let her touch the skull. She holds the skull, rolls her hands around it. Nothing happens. Is something supposed to happen? She asks, then gives the skull back. Then she continues, let's wait for tomorrow morning. Maybe it shows its effect then. So you decide to leave Juliana alone and let her sleep. The skull will be staying in your study chamber. After this tiring day, you go to your chamber. There are no guards at the door. You just trust everybody in the palace. You are loved, our loved king. The furniture are luxurious in this chamber, too. You take a glance at your reflection in the mirror. Examine yourself, sleep. You take pride in how you look. You are a middle-aged man, but you still look as handsome as you were young. Your looks are an important factor that makes you a characteristic leader, besides being fair and wise. You wear your nightgown and get in your bed. It is a bed for 2 people, but you haven't slept with anyone since your wife passed away. You have a secret that you keep from everyone. Sometimes you hug a second pillow in your bed as if it was someone you love. You do this since your childhood. Nobody needs to know. It doesn't take long for you to fall asleep. You wake up in the morning. Something is wrong. You can't move your arms. No, not only arms. You can't move any part of your body. You're paralyzed. Then suddenly, your body starts to move involuntarily. It stands up without your consent. Your feet bring you to the mirror. You see your face in the mirror. You're terrified, but there is a grin on your face. You're no longer in control of your body. You're merely a bystander of what it does. It brings you to the throne room. With confident steps, soldiers salute you. To be exact, it's as you enter, it sits on the throne and shouts with your voice, "Bring me my daughter!" You watch guards accompany Juliana as she comes into your presence. It shouts, "I don't want her to suffer anymore. Kill her!" Juliana is shocked. "What? Dad, Father, please!" She is not like the only surprised one in the room. Everybody looks at each other with shock. It shouts, "You heard your king. Execute her!" You try to shout, but your screams are buried inside the head of the king. Juliana gets on her knees and cries in despair, but it's in vain. Two black masked decapitators come into your presence. One holds the crying blonde girl, the other holds the sword. You can do nothing but watch as your precious daughter gets decapitated. Her hand falls down and rolls to the throne. Floor gets filled with her blood. Days pass. It continues to control your body. You mourn for your daughter inside the body that one belonged to you. You watched it rule your country with an iron fist. It orders all the churches be burnt and priests to be hanged. Of course, your people uprises against the new king. It suppresses the revolt with violence. Anyone who stood against the king gets tortured. Eyes are poked, skins are flayed. Soon it orders people to worship it as a deity. The God King declares war against other countries. It doesn't take long for the other countries form an alliance against the good God King. In a fateful battle in your capital, the God King loses its horse. The evil king gets killed while desperately searching for a horse. And this is how your soul finally breaks free to heaven to see your family once again. The end. There are 3 endings. Well, that was nice. That was amazing. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more videos.